What? I want my cake and I want to eat it too. This is good cake. Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon buff. What it is, what it does, and what it's gonna be. It's your favorite Liberian from West Africa, Harry Billion. If you are new around here, please make sure to smash that subscribe button, guys. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. Right here is the Amazon store where you can find your Buff and Coach Prime merch. If you see something, say something. On your screen, you'll see hot tips for TLP Sports at gmail.com. Yo, that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. The news of the day. Coach Prime is interviewing for that vacant position, which is the defensive tackle position, which Mr. Patrick Hill was blessed enough to get a job with the Minnesota Vikings. What's really funny is, you guys do remember on 3, Cromani McLean was a 5-star during the time where Cromani McLean was making his decision, where him and his family were taking the time to make sure that they control their narrative. That whole time, for some odd reason, on 3, which is a recruiting service, dropped Cromani McLean a star. When the story started popping up all over the different creators' channels, everybody was up in arms saying, who the heck is on 3? Never heard of on 3. Who are they? Nobody cares about them. On 3 is irrelevant. Everybody's unsubscribing. Nobody cares about on 3. My trusted source is the Colorado Buffaloes Wire.usatoday.com. Those are the people that I go to for most of my news. The original source of the Colorado Buffalo story that Mr. Brian Early was the one that was being targeted for that job. That original story came from Bruce Feldman from The Athletic. So The Athletic was the one that actually had the source, the inside source that gave the information that Mr. Brian Early was being targeted for that job. So it came from a credible source. We all trust The Athletic. The Athletic is a very credible source when it comes to sports news reporting. It's same as if we want our cake and eat it too. It's funny how things work. The irony now is on 3, that's actually the source of your Mr. Sal. Jack Harlow wrote this story about the source, and then shortly after that, on 3 is now a source saying that Mr. Sal is actually the one that's being targeted for the job. Everybody's now trusting on 3 again as a source. So I can't win for losing. So 1 second, nobody cares about on 3. On 3 is irrelevant as a recruiting service. Now we're trusting them again for Mr. Sal. You're dang if you do. And you're dang if you don't. I thought we weren't shopping at O3 anymore. So what do you want from me? So are we trusting them now? Will we boycott someone? Do we go back to them and trust them again? It's not a big I told you so, okay? Because I was telling people that the owners of On3, the people who actually own or establish On3, people with 247 Sports, these are all the same people. People get emotional and they get angry. They just do things and they say things. But I'm telling you, like, whether you hate them or not, they're not going anywhere. You can unsubscribe, you can do whatever you want to do, but these are conglomerates. These are monopolies. These are not small companies that you can just be like, oh, I'm not subscribing no more, I don't care. Tomorrow you're going to trust them again because now you are. Now everybody's trusting them again. The information that you're telling me that is now available, that information is coming from On3. So I'll go ahead and I will appease you. I will tell you that information. If you're trusting them again, okay, I'll give you the information from them. It cost me a piece of cake from the bodega. Here you have it. Let's go. Hey Siri, how do you pronounce Suneri?
Okay, I found this on the web for how do you pronounce Suneri. Check it out.
It's an Italian name. You can pronounce it like Siri and say Sal Suneri. Or if you're Italian, you'll say Sal Sonseri. I'm not playing around no more with y'all with these pronunciations, okay? Alabama Special Assistant Sal Sonseri expected to become Colorado defensive tackles coach. This one is from on3.com and it's coming from Nick Schultz. All right, so Nick, what you got for me, homie? Alabama staffer Sal Sonseri has emerged as the top target for the defensive tackles coach position at Colorado. Sources told On3's Matt Zenitz Wednesday. Sonseri spent last season as a special assistant to head coach Nick Saban, a well-respected coaching veteran. Sonseri previously worked as Alabama's outside linebackers from 2019 to 2021 as part of his lengthy coaching career. In that time, he worked with Crimson Tide star Will Anderson, who has emerged as a potential top pick in this year's NFL draft. It marked his second stint with Alabama after working there as assistant head coach and linebackers coach from 2009 to 2011. Sonseri also worked as the defensive line coach at Florida in 2018 after 3 seasons with the Las Vegas Raiders from 2015 to 2017 and was the defensive coordinator at Tennessee in 2012. He also spent time as the Carolina Panthers defensive line coach from 2002 to 2008. Now he appears ready to work for Deion Sanders, who's gearing up for his first season with Colorado. If hired, he joined fellow former Alabama assistant Charles Kelly, who's the Buffalo's new defensive coordinator. Now, here's a little bit more background on Sal Sunseri. After playing college ball at Pitt, the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Sunseri in the 10th round of the 1982 NFL Draft. However, he suffered a career-ending knee injury in training camp and jumped into coaching shortly thereafter. He landed his first opportunity at Pitt in 1985, serving as the Panthers' defensive line coach and linebackers coach until 1991. He then moved up to assistant head coach and eventually interim head coach in 1992 before heading to Iowa Wesleyan in 1993 as an assistant head coach and defensive coordinator. Following a year at Illinois State's defensive coordinator, you guys were getting at me with that whole Illinois situation, so it's Illinois. Don't get annoyed, it's Illinois. Following a year at Illinois State's defensive coordinator in 1994, I got Louisville down, okay? It's not Louisville, it's Louisville. Sunseri headed to Louisville as linebackers coach from 1995 to 1997 and became the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach at Alabama A&M from 1998 to 1999. He then worked as the linebackers coach and special teams coordinator at LSU and Michigan State in 2000 and 2001, respectively. That's when Carolina came calling, and after the 2008 season, Sunseri headed to Alabama under Saban until 2011. Tennessee hired him as a defensive coordinator in 2012, and he spent 1 year on Rocky Top before taking over as the defensive ends coach at Florida State from 2013 to 2014. Following 3 years with the Oakland Raiders from 2015 to 2017, he returned to college at Florida in 2018 and returned to Alabama in 2019. All right, so look, I'm recording this at 4:45. By the time I go upstairs and edit this video and release it probably late tonight, this is Thursday, March the 2nd. At this time right now in New York. This information is going to change. Oh my gosh, I hate this. I have a really new respect for breaking news people. Man, because it's got to be something. I knew it was hectic, but I didn't know how hectic until I started doing it. By the time I'm done editing, this information is not going to be the same, but what you're looking at on your screen is 183 days left for kickoff, 7 hours, 12 minutes. It's counting down the seconds. All right, guys, enough of that yabba dabba do. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm Harry B. Now that was the Liberian Perspective. TLP Sports Club. Blah.